Hello everyone, Kyle here bringing you yet another video that reminds me of why I only have family photos of myself around the house. So today we're going to play a little game called Worldbox. Just a quick special thanks to Cospide for this recommendation. Worldbox is the ultimate god simulator and sandbox game where you can create your own world or destroy it using different powers. This immediately sounds like a fun time for all ages.
I do not like you. No one likes you. At all.
Ask yourself, who as a kid hasn't sat with a magnifying glass burning ants alive while harbouring overwhelming feelings of a godlike power? Me, that's who. I never did that. Instead, I was the kid that would sit and try and burn a hole through my own hand because I was really smart. And honestly, I'm as surprised as you may be at this point to know that I've survived 35 years. You start your journey taking a crash course of the controls from a friendly little bear. This fact alone makes it one of the best classes I've ever taken. If bears were teachers at my school, maybe I'd have learnt more. I only say this because the mice that tried to teach my classes just kept eating the chalk. Right, for our first actor's god, seeming the environment is already made, we should introduce mankind onto this planet and give them all the chances to prosper that we can. There you go, little guys and girls. This volcano will keep you warm at night. Next, I feel it is our duty to test the biodurability of every living being we have the ability to create. You know, for health and safety reasons for the humans. I mean, just think, what if a rabbit, for instance, just hopped past while on fire and spread it amongst our future little influencers and destroyed everything? I think we owe it to ourselves to play it safe. Everything seems to burn without much complaint, which is nice. It's the kind of quality I look for in a creation, acceptance that you're born doomed. Oh, of course, the walking jumpers are going to be all vocal about being thrown into the lava. There's always something to complain about with you. Stop being so sheepish about it. Puns make animal cruelty feel less bad. Okay, I'll stop. I mean the puns, not throwing sheep into the lava. Let's move on to bigger and better things. Like these friendly little snow people. Okay, I can see that elements actually react with each other, which is cool. Nothing brings me out of a game faster than trying to do basic chemistry and it not working. Now that we've made some little lava islands with the help of the snow people, the humans can really start to branch out and stretch their legs. Of course though, the land comes at a price. They have to battle the remaining snow people. I feel like this is probably an accurate depiction of how humankind came into existence, and with that, just like the dinosaurs, I'll make them temporarily extinct while I rebuild this world to make it better for everyone. So being as uncreative as I am, translating to lazy, I've decided that we're going to build an exact replica of the world that we live on. But of course, with my expertise in world creation as seen in my astronomy and planet crafter videos, this would be too easy to achieve. So I'll make it a little harder by creating the world entirely from my memory. This should be both fun and panic attack inducing as I show you just how stupid I am. Not only will I shape the world, but I will try to fill it with all the beasts and biomes that I believe each place should have. I will apologise in advance for the inaccuracies and shameful stereotyping that is about to take place. We'll start our world by adding in the north and south poles. As these are pretty easy to do, then we can make them cold by using the temperature tool. Oh, I can see that they're already spawning in some penguins and trees. The bread and butter of any continent. Great, they've successfully been added, and I believe they're in the right places. As for the wildlife, I imagine they're pretty similar, although I think that the South Pole doesn't have mammals. Or was that the north? I don't know. To play it safe, we'll just add in some snow people first. Now for some penguins, like lots of them. I'm pretty sure penguins are in abundance in cold places. Oh, good. The penguins are battling the snow people. The world is only minutes old and already knows war. Not to take sides in this battle, but I'll spawn in some penguins so they can form gangs and destroy the snow people. What happens if we spawn them directly into the water though? Oh, they're actually really fast swimmers. I was expecting them to drown, but I think I'm thinking of chickens. Where are they going? They're like, mate, we're South Pole penguins. Get your head screwed on. As they've made it all the way down there without issues, I think we can just spawn a bunch in the centre of the world and let them decide where they want to go. This way they'll feel like they actually chose to live in such a crappy, inhospitable place and weren't just unlucky enough to evolve there. Next, we'll add in some bunnies, some foxes, some snow sheep. I know, don't worry. Sheep don't exist in either the North or South Pole, but after complaining so much about being thrown into the lava, they deserve this. Can the sheep swim swim fast? No. Can they survive a thunderstorm in the ocean? Let's see. Oh, well, it turns out yes. Okay, on with the land building. Let's start with North America. I think it's kind of got a slice of pizza shape to it. Now Middle America. Yeah, that looks good. South America is just another slice of pizza. There, perfection. There's a country here too, I think. If not, there should be. We'll add in some of the little islands because I'm an island boy. Look, I just said some words that makes me a rapper. Okay, so North America, I imagine, is mostly grass. Central is mostly desert. And South, I think it's mostly jungle. We'll play it safe and just call it all jungle. So the very top of North America, namely Canada and Alaska, I imagine are stuck in a permanent ice age. So we'll make it very cold. This is cold too. I think it's Greenland, which is a bit of a misleading name. So I think this is the Caribbean and they're very hot. So hot in fact that crabs will randomly set on fire while living on them. Look, either cool off in the boiling sea or crab your way on over to another island where it's cooler. Just quit running around on fire like you're the victim here. Back in the Americas, we'll add in some swampland along the east coast. In the south, there's some mountains along a line here. I'm sure there are other mountains in the world, but these are the only ones I can remember. Yeah, this looks about right. Let's start my home now, the United Kingdom. This I should nail, really. Ah, perfect. Right, biome-wise, Scotland is cold. The rest of the UK is just grass, really. Ireland is enchanted. I know this is a stereotype, but it adds variety. It's also home to lots of gold. As for England, we just have an abundance of fruit bushes. Right, on with Europe. This is France, Spain and Portugal. Then there's this country here that looks like a shoe, Italy. So it goes around to the Middle East and down to Africa, and Africa is just a bigger slice of pizza than America is. There are some islands in this sea like Crete, Cyprus and some others, so I'll just put one here to represent them all. Now for a bit of finesse, lovely. We can make the boot look less like a sock. Nice. I think it looks just like Italy does in my head. I'm not even sure if this is connected or not. Okay, let's add Madagascar. Good films. Okay, as for the Scandinavian countries, I can't remember exactly how they look, so we'll just go ahead and draw a spatula. Then there's this big country up here and some other countries here. I think Australia is somewhere around here. New Zealand next door to it. And then there's the Philippines, Indonesia, and some other stuff here. And India. This is the Middle East. Yep. Do you know what? America is currently bigger than the whole of Europe and Asia combined. Let's make Asia bigger. Sorry, Australia. I have to move you. Here, I'll make you bigger to make up for it. I know that you're a fairly large country and maps just portray you wrong. So let's make Australia big again. Oh, and I think there's a country here. Iceland, I think. I think as far as the general layout goes, we've nailed it. Let's compare it to a real life map of the world. Wow, it's like we've cheated and traced it. Honestly though, I drew it all from memory. I know it's hard to believe, isn't it? There's a few discrepancies here and there, but to be honest, I think mine is probably more accurate anyway. Let's call it a victory and start placing biomes and animals, shall we? So, frosty all over here, and hot here. Middle East is desert too. A sprinkle of corruption over North Korea and Russia. A little more frost in the Scandinavian countries, but not too much. Don't hog all the cold weather Sweden. Grass everywhere else. Jungle in Madagascar. Desert for Australia. It's basically the mouth to hell according to documentaries I've watched. I say this only because everything there wants to kill you. New Zealand is grassy, as it's all hobbity. Grass and jungle for Asia. A sprinkle of lemon for Italy, especially the islands. I forgot Sicily. There we go, Mafia. Some lemons for you too. On to the wildlife, my favourite part. Africa, rhinos, check, but not too many due to poaching, which is a very sad thing. Hyenas, check. Cows, I'm sure there are cows in Africa. Monkeys, I think there are, especially over the savannah area. Chickens, again, I think chickens are just everywhere. They're kind of the go-to bird for most countries, except those cold ones. They have penguins, which are just snow chickens. Honestly, speaking of penguins, I think South Africa actually has some, so I'll add some in. Frogs, yeah, I think so, just place them around. Crocodiles, definitely. Venomous snakes, loads. Piranha, I'm not so sure about. They are freshwater fish after all, but I'm just going to go ahead and add them to the ocean to represent sharks. They are basically just sharks on a much smaller scale after all. Oh look, the monkey is throwing rocks at the piranha. Even he isn't impressed with my misuse of fish around Africa. A little sprinkle of turtles to balance out all the killers. Cats, definitely. There's like lions and stuff. Even though these are probably only domesticated cats, I'll go ahead and put them into the wild so they can battle with the snakes snakes and hyenas. Dogs, definitely. Seen wild dogs in Africa, like the hunting ones. Sheep? Why not? I have no idea if they're part of Africa's wildlife, but I like to think sheep are just everywhere. Here's some flies and beetles. Really? I have to add the insects? No thanks. From this day forth, Africa is the only country to have insects. Now for the United Kingdom. That's easy. We've got the king rat here in London. He lives in my toilet. We also have a lot of dogs. I've even heard of cases of dogs owning dogs in the UK. We've got rabbits too, but not too many because they're boring. Foxes, hundreds. Even in London we have foxes. The difference between a London fox and a countryside fox is about 50 pounds in weight and rabies. We have cows too. Lots of them in fact. And loads of chickens. Just a couple of cats though. As for Ireland, I think they only have sheep and nothing else. All the other animals they have are just different shapes and sizes of sheep. Scotland can have some sheep too. Put some sheep and cows around Europe, followed by bears in Germany. No idea if the Scandinavian countries have bears, but I'll give you some anyway. I think if you don't have them, you should look into getting some. They can do all kinds of good things for your environment, you know, like bear stuff. Now some wolves around Germany. We'll just add in some wild cows so the wolves and bears can hunt, and some dogs and chickens so the wolves and bears can hunt. Some frogs around France. I mean, I know they have frogs, I'm not stereotyping. I don't even know why the English call the French frogs. It's never made any sense to me, but then again, not much does. Now we can add in some bears to Greenland and North America. Chickens, rabbits, cats, dogs, and some buffalo. A few turtles for good measures. Oh good, there's already fires breaking out all over America. Accurate. South America can have some crocodiles, buffalo, monkeys, and venomous snakes. That sounds about right. I like how this video is just starting to sound like a cooking recipe. Okay, so now it's time for Australia. Oh, what to do with you? So we'll start with some crocodiles. Then we'll ramp it up to some venomous snakes and some bears. I mean, they have koala bears. These are just bigger versions of them. And we'll add some wolves, which are basically their version of dogs. And a couple of necromancers around Central Australia. This is why Australia says not to go into their desert. Let's have a look at how Australia is doing with its wildlife. Pure carnage. Seems about right. So we'll throw some snakes into the mix. And piranha off the coast, like everywhere. There is no escape in Australia. Once you're there, you can't leave. And some hyenas, which have swum over from Africa to join the Royal Rumble. And more crocodiles, because I mean, there's a lot of crocodiles there. Next, we'll introduce a few hellspawn demons. Just a few though. And now for some humans, because some reason people actually want to live there. I'll quickly dot some humans all over the globe so they can start their little civilizations. I don't really care where they go as long as they start making little towns for me to destroy. Let's drop some into the ocean so they can pick where they go. I like that there is literally battles happening the moment I put people down and towns disappearing, as they're all being eaten by the insane amounts of wildlife I've placed down. Okay, now for some world disasters. America suffers terribly from tornadoes, so I'll place a few down to make life harder for our settlers. Here's the hot spring of the national park. I don't know where the national park is, but it's here now. Let's check up on our Australians. Okay, that's weird. It's unusually calm and quiet. The humans have actually killed all the wildlife and came out on top. That's pretty accurate. Well done, men and women. Have some rain. Oh, sorry, did I say rain? I meant fire. Next, we'll summon Australia's famous active volcano. What do you mean you haven't heard of their volcano? Well, now you have. Consider this an education. We can drop a few more volcanoes down in places that probably don't even have mountains, let alone active volcanoes. Uh-oh, Italy. It's starting to snow. Better cover those lemon trees. Meanwhile, in Japan, it's had its own bit of misfortunate weather and an earthquake has taken place. I guess the good news is they're now connected to the mainland, so this will save on air travel. You're welcome. Well, Egypt is just a nightmare now, but Australia, that's the real nightmare. It's just had some earthquakes. Hold on to your kangaroos, Australia. Next, there's been an outbreak of tornadoes caused by the quake on Earth. This is a scientific possibility, at least in my world. Oh dear, the tornadoes have torn the Earth asunder and created acid geysers. I can't believe someone down there is still trying to build. His town gets destroyed and he's just like, whatever mate, I'll build on the west coast. It's a bit safer like. Well, it was safe until the lava rain came. Yep, this is a thing in Australia. I told you it was dangerous. But you know what they say, after the lava rain comes the acid rain to burn you in a different kind of way. It's cool, Australia. You've just had a boat full of tourists come to see all the wonders your country has to offer. Be sure to take good care of them. Hey, I said take good care of them. Why are the crocodiles the only one coming to greet them on the beaches? Oh wait, you've sent some zombies. Yeah, Australia has zombies as well. It's a big problem over there. Of course, the zombies never are alone. The necromancers follow them. Why do you people keep trying to visit this place? It's a dangerous and unforgiving environment. It's full of evil doom towers and bandits waiting to steal your iPhones. I mean, look at the place place, it's pure chaos. It has lightning storms that strike hundreds of thousands of times per minute, and fire, so much fire, and it just rains down from the skies. And just as you think it's getting better, there's more earthquakes. Do you see how peaceful the rest of the world is? Literally anywhere, just not Australia. I mean, the North Pole does have an occasional robot Santa haunt the place, but otherwise it's not that bad. Oh, what's happening in South America? Jungle fever caused by Australia. They're fighting with each other. Well, the worst thing to happen is every 2023 years, that's next year by the way, everyone is sucked up into the clouds and put onto a little island to battle it out to the death. The winner takes home a key ring and a t-shirt that's 3 sizes too big for them. And while you're fighting to survive, bowling balls fly down and just destroy everything you've ever loved. The whole world falls into chaos and nano robots come to begin eating it away from the inside. While you're running away from the killer nanobots, the skies open up once more and meteors crash down like whoosh, whoosh, and you think to yourself, think of the children. But guess what? No one's thinking of the children, no one. And the final nail in the coffin of humanity, bombs drop and just completely obliterate everything. And why? Why all this pain and suffering, you ask? It's simple. Australia. Australia is to blame. And to think, none of this would have ever happened if you just unbanned me from visiting your country. But what have we learnt from this experience?
If I had to pick 3 things, 1, you should never teach in schools. 2, you should be banned from even being around children. 3, you do realise Australia hasn't banned you.
They haven't banned me? Who banned me then?
Bro, it was the library.
Oh, well, why did I think it was Australia?
I don't know. I'm quite honestly speechless.
All valid points, but no, none of those things are the things that we have learnt. As a final note to kind of make this look a little less like a cynical raven of a madman, just look at what kind of a world we could live in if we just all worked together. Terrifying.